Throughout middle school and high school, I lacked confidence. I wasn't able to be myself and be social, and I felt invisible, especially around girls and especially around trying to make new friends. And this was all because of my acne. What a lot of people don't realize, and especially if you have acne or any type of skin problem, you can relate to this. It doesn't just affect your body, but it also affects your mind. It affects the thoughts you get. It affects you being able to have confidence and talk to new people and make genuine connections to them. Because all you're really thinking about right now is your skin. All you're thinking about is how other people are looking at you. And this really affected my mental health because during this period of my life, I was already struggling with things. If you're a teenager and you're still in school, you still have to worry about school, you have to worry about your family life and stuff like that. And this was just another thing that just added onto the fire. So during this period of my life, I was having these mental health issues. I was constantly overthinking. I was constantly having anxiety and depression because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And along with this came a bunch of body and health issues. I was super skinny, I looked malnourished, and then what also came with this was a bunch of these health problems. Like I developed this autoimmune disease like inflammation, and it absolutely affected everything. I wasn't able to eat properly. I was going to the bathroom 5, 6 times a day. And this is really the struggle that most people face. And if you're anything like me and you're struggling with this thing, trust me, I understand. I understand how it feels. And the one thing that actually changed this, that actually improved my mental health, that improved my skin especially, and the ability for me to have confidence was finally locking in on my health. That's the one thing. And no one will talk about this stuff. No one will talk about, different ways you can heal your health to improve your skin. Because if you really think about it, there's a bunch of these doctors out there, a bunch of these dermatologists, and really, it's the same lame ass advice, which is, okay, we want you to take this moisturizer, we want you to do this, and we're gonna give you this protocol where you're gonna take a bunch of these products that have no guarantee of working, and then we're going to give you this pill with like 50 side effects on it. And then they send you on your way and you don't get better. But if they really gave you like a health protocol that you could do to improve your skin that would cost them zero, that would cost you zero money, that would be 10 times better, right? But it will make them no money. And it's kind of like this thing that's hard, and they think it's hard, and they think it's like super complicated, but in reality it was super easy. When I started to lock in on my health, my skin improved, my confidence came back. That person that was insecure and lonely before wasn't anymore. And this is such a powerful thing because once you start to lock in on your health, once you start to get healthier, a bunch of these things improve, and like I said, no one talks about it, but it's the number one thing you can do. If you're interested on how to improve your skin health and finally feel confident in your own body, I created a course through struggling with acne for years and years of my life, and I put it all into one course. So the link is in the description. Definitely check it out. It will change your life. And you've been told that skincare is the way. You've been told that taking different products and moisturizers is the way by all these dermatologists out there. And you know this stuff never works. You know that you go on YouTube, you try out these different products. Oh, let me try this product, this product. It just never works for you. It never works. It never gets to the root cause. And that's what I started to do. When I was struggling with acne, I started to realize, okay, I need to get to the root cause. I can't just keep on relying on skincare. I can't keep on relying on other people's advice. I have to be my own guinea pig and try different things for myself. And no one will tell you this, but you have to realize this yourself, and you have to go through the trials and tribulations, because a lot of people are stuck in this cycle for years of their life, relying on skincare, relying on dermatologists, relying on doctors to help fix their problems. But in reality, you have the power yourself. These doctors don't have as much power as you think they do. Because once you can control your health, All the power lies in your hands. But you don't live naturally. You don't live a natural life, especially if you have acne. You're probably not a healthy person. You don't live how our ancestors used to live. You don't live this like vibrant lifestyle where you're going outside, where you're eating clean foods, you're eating the right type of foods. You probably just sit at home all day, sit and watch Netflix, dopamine addict, watching TikTok all day. And it's no wonder. I'm really not surprised why a lot of people have acne nowadays. It's because they don't live a natural, healthy lifestyle like a normal human. A human 100, 200 years ago, if you saw their skin, they barely had any acne. It's because we were living a natural lifestyle, but it's now with these modern, new, weird inventions that we're getting sicker, that we're getting more obese, we're getting, these different type of skin problems. It's really no surprise. Once you start to step away from the modern world and finally start living this natural, primal lifestyle, you will see your skin improve and you'll see a lot of things start to click for you. So the advice I want to leave you with before I end this video is you have to lock in. If you don't lock in on your health, like I said, you're going to be relying on so many people to do it for you. You're going to be relying on, these doctors, and you're going to be spending thousands or hundreds of dollars. And it's really a shame to see. I don't like people to suffer the same thing I suffered with, where I was looking up different YouTube videos, trying to figure out, constantly having these worried, negative thoughts like, is this ever going to improve? Am I stuck with this? Maybe this is just genetics. But once I finally cracked the code to healing my skin and finally getting confident again, I was so surprised by how many people did not know this stuff. And that's the exact reason I have a course, and that's the exact reason I upload videos like this to help people finally unlock that version of themselves that they've been missing their whole lives. And it's so powerful once you think about it. And I want the same for you. So once you start to lock in on your health, once you start to research, once you start to watch different videos, you start to study, you start to read different books like on nutrition, on health, you start to get into health. That's when you start to improve. That's when you start not feeling invisible. Because for most of my life, I felt invisible. I felt the same way as you. And once I finally start to implement the things that I'm telling you, that the health protocols that I'm telling you about, everything clicked for me. And I wish I had this information because it would have saved me. It would have saved me hundreds of dollars. It would have saved me so much trouble of having to go through the different systems, having to take the different pills, do the different, antibiotic creams and moisturizers and steroid creams and stuff like that. So I want the same for you. So definitely, if you want to check out more of my videos, leave a like, subscribe, and definitely check out the first link in the description. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.